In the beginning, the earth was formless and empty, and darkness was over the face of the deep. The Spirit of God was hovering over the waters, like a divine presence waiting to breathe life into the void. Then God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. At the sound of his voice, light exploded into existence, not from sun or stars, which had not yet been made, but light itself, pure and powerful, separating the emptiness from the dark. It shone across the surface of the deep, stretching across the newborn world. God saw that the light was good. He separated the light from the darkness. The light he called day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. On the second day, the waters part as a glowing sky stretches above, forming the firmament and separating the ocean below from the waters above on the third day. Then God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. The waters began to pull back, rushing together into vast oceans, rivers and lakes. Dry land rose from the depths, mountains, valleys, plains and hills, shaped by the will of the Creator. God called the dry land earth, and the gathered waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth grass, the herb that yields seed, and the fruit tree that yields fruit according to its kind, whose seed is in itself, on the earth." And it was so. The earth burst to life. Green grass spread across the land. Herbs and flowering plants sprouted in every direction, and fruit trees rose tall, each one bearing fruit according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. On the fourth day God said, "Let there be lights in the sky to separate day from night, and to mark seasons, days, and years." He made the sun to rule the day, the moon to rule the night, and he also made the stars. God placed them in the sky to give light to the earth, to govern day and night, and to separate light from darkness. And God saw that it was good. There was evening, and there was morning, the fourth day. On the fifth day, God said, "Let the waters be filled with living creatures, and let birds fly above the earth across the sky." The seas swarmed with life, great sea creatures and fish of every kind, and the skies filled with birds soaring in every direction. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply." And God saw that it was good. There was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. Then God said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, cattle, creeping things, and wild animals." And it was so. The land came alive with beasts of every kind, elephants, lions, deer, bears, insects, lizards, and every animal that walks or crawls upon the earth. God saw that it was good. Then God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness. Let them have dominion over all the earth and every creature." Then the Lord God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. The Lord God planted a garden in Eden, in the east, and there he placed the man he had formed. Eden was beautiful, filled with every tree that is pleasing to the eye and good for food. In the center of the garden were the tree of life and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying,
"You may eat freely from every tree in the garden, but from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day you eat from it, you will surely die."
And the Lord God said,
"It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper suitable for him."
After saying it was not good for man to be alone, the Lord God formed every beast of the field and every bird of the sky, and he brought them to Adam to see what he would name them. Whatever Adam called each living creature, that became its name. So Adam gave names to all the livestock, the birds of the air, and every wild animal. But among them, no suitable helper was found for Adam. So, God caused Adam to sleep, took a rib from his side, and created Eve as a companion for him. After God created Eve from Adam's rib, he brought her to the man. Adam looked at her with awe and joy, and he said,
"This is now bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man."
Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. In that moment, the first marriage was formed, not with ceremony, but with unity, love, and God's presence. Adam and Eve were not just companions, they were one. Joined in heart, body, and soul, they lived in the Garden of Eden, completely pure and without shame. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. They walked together in harmony, cared for the garden, and enjoyed the presence of God in peace. There was no sin, no fear, no pain, only innocence, beauty, and divine pleasure. God blessed them and said, "Be fruitful and multiply." And God saw everything he made, and it was very good. The Garden of Eden shimmered with life. The trees whispered in the wind, the rivers sparkled like glass, and the air carried no weight of fear, pain, or death. Adam and Eve lived in harmony, walking in innocence under the gaze of their Creator. But near the center of the garden stood a tree unlike the rest, the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. God had spoken plainly.
You are free to eat from every tree in the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day you eat of it, you shall surely die.
And for a time they obeyed. And for a time they obeyed. One day, the woman walked near the forbidden tree. The garden was quiet, the leaves barely rustling, but she was not alone. From the shadows of the branches, a voice roared.
Did God really say you must not eat from any tree in the garden?
We may eat from the trees in the garden, but from the tree in the middle, God said, "Do not eat it or even touch it, or you will die."
You will not surely die. God knows that when you eat from it, your eyes will be opened. You will be like God, knowing good and evil.
The woman looked at the tree again. Its fruit was beautiful, desirable for wisdom. She reached out, took it, and ate. Then she gave some to her husband, and he ate as well. Their eyes were opened. They realized they were naked and felt shame. So, they sewed fig leaves together and made coverings for themselves. In an instant, something shattered inside them. Their eyes were opened, yes, but what they saw first was their nakedness. Shame swept over them like a storm, and they hid among the trees, hearts pounding with the weight of what they had done. Then came the sound. the footsteps of God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. His presence stirred the air, and his voice echoed through the trees, calm, yet full of power. They knew they had disobeyed.
Adam, where are you?
I must tell him.
Oh no!
From behind the trees, I heard you, and I was afraid because I was naked. So I hid.
God spoke again.
Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree I commanded you not to eat?
Adam answered.
The woman you gave to be with me, she gave me the fruit, and I ate.
God turned to the woman.
What have you done?
She said.
The serpent deceived me and I ate.
So the Lord God said to the serpent,
Because you have done this, you are cursed above all animals. On your belly you will crawl, in dust you will eat all your life. I will put hatred between you and the woman, and between your offspring and hers. He will crush your head, and you will strike his heel.
To the woman, God said,
I will greatly increase your pain in childbirth. You will give birth in pain. Your desire will be for your husband, and he will rule over you.
To Adam, God said,
Because you listened to your wife and ate from the tree I commanded you not to eat from, the ground is cursed because of you. You will work hard all your life to get food from it. It will grow thorns and thistles. You will eat by the sweat of your brow until you return to the dust. For from dust you were made, and to dust you will return.
God made garments of skin for Adam and Eve, and clothed them with care. Then he said,
The man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. He must not be allowed to take from the tree of life and live forever.
So the Lord God banished them from the Garden of Eden. He placed cherubim and a flaming sword that moved in every direction to guard the way to the tree of life. Adam and Eve stepped out of paradise into a world of thorns, toil and tears. But God's mercy and plan of redemption had only just begun. And so, the story of Adam and Eve began. A story of life, choice, sorrow and hope, written into the very soil of the earth.